let's talk about screen sharing. For pretty much anyone who works online, it's a constant source of this low-level anxiety, right? So is there a better way to protect our privacy without totally wrecking our workflow? Today, we're going to break down a review of a tool called the Blurweb App that claims it might just be the answer. You know the feeling. Come on, you totally do. You're about to present to a client, or maybe you're recording a tutorial, and you hit share screen. And for a split second, your heart just stops. Did you close that tab with the sensitive client info? Is your personal Slack message popping up on screen? It is that moment of pure panic that I think we've all felt.
And look, that panic, it's completely justified. In this world of remote work and online everything, we share our screens every single day. But the review we're digging into points out that every single share is like a high-stakes gamble. You're risking exposing client names, internal company emails, maybe even secret API keys. Not good. So, how have we been dealing with this problem? Well, the old way is, to put it lightly, a total nightmare. The source we're looking at calls it a soul-crushing workflow, and yeah, you're about to see why that's not an exaggeration.
Just look at this ridiculous process. First, you have to capture your screen or your video. Okay, fine. Then you have to open a completely separate app like Photoshop or some other editor. Then you gotta find the blur tool. Then you carefully draw a box over the sensitive part. And then you do it again and again and again for every single little piece of data. It is so tedious, so slow, and just unbelievably inefficient.
The review just sums it up perfectly. It's an enormous time sink. The real cost here isn't the price of your editing software, it's your time. We're talking hours of it just thrown away on this repetitive post-production chore that, let's be honest, nobody enjoys doing. But what if you could just skip that entire ridiculous process? This is where the source introduces the Blurweb App. And it's positioned not as just another tool, but as a completely different way of thinking. A simple little browser extension that acts like a real-time privacy shield. And this is the fundamental shift. See, Blurweb isn't for editing after you've already recorded everything. It works live, right there on the web page. This means the blur gets applied before your screen is even captured or shared. It's proactive, not a reactive fix. It's a total game changer.
And it's built to be fast. The review makes a point of saying you can get this thing installed and running in under 5 minutes. There's no bloated software to download, no confusing settings to mess with. It's just a simple extension with basically zero learning curve.
So, how does it actually work? Okay, let's dive into the core features that make this tool so powerful.
Okay, so the review breaks it down into 4 main things. First up, the big one, real-time live blurring. This is what lets you hide information while you're screen sharing. Then there's automatic PII detection, which is super smart. It finds and blurs sensitive info with just one click. Third, you've got persistent blur profiles, which save your settings for specific sites so you don't have to keep re-blurring the same stuff over and over. And finally, you can pick your style. Pixelate, a classic blur, or just a solid blackout.
All right, theory is great, but let's get into the hands-on test case from the review. This is where we see if the app can actually walk the walk in a real-world scenario, a live training session happening over a video call. So here's the setup. The reviewer pulled up a fake customer dashboard, but it was packed with real-looking sensitive data. Names, emails, phone numbers, the whole shebang. They hopped on a Google Meet call to make it feel like a real training session. And then, with all that private data just sitting there exposed, they did it. One single click on the automatic PII detect button. And the result? It was immediate. The reviewer calls it a seamless and instant obscuring of the data. Poof! All the names, emails, and phone numbers were hidden right away. The dashboard instantly looked professional and totally privacy compliant. And the auto detect was so good, it only needed one tiny manual tweak for a weirdly formatted order ID. Pretty impressive. So that performance is awesome. But, it always comes down to value. Is this AppSumo lifetime deal, which is priced at just $17, is it actually worth it? And here's the number that really makes you stop and think. $17. And we're not talking per month or per year. This is a one-time payment for lifetime access. That's it. I mean, this table just lays it all out perfectly. You compare that $17 one-time cost to a tool like Snagit, where you might pay up to $85 your first year, plus recurring fees after that. But the real story, the one that matters, is that bottom row. time cost. With Blurweb, it's next to nothing. With the old way, it is consistently, painfully high. That is a massive return on your investment, not just in money, but in your most valuable asset.
All right, so let's bring this all home. When you look at the features, the performance, and that crazy price point, who is this tool really for?
Now, the review gives a really balanced look. The pros are huge: instant live blurring, fantastic auto detection, and those time-saving profiles. But hey, no tool is perfect, right? There are some trade-offs. It only works inside your web browser, so it's not for desktop apps. It's not a full-on image editor, it's a very focused tool. And yeah, while the auto detect is great, it might need a quick manual fix every now and then. So based on all that, the review has a super clear list of people who will get the most out of this. If you create online courses, if you demo software, if you do live sales calls, or if you ever present sensitive financial or HR data, this tool was practically made for you. And the final verdict from the review? It's overwhelmingly positive. For anyone who is just sick and tired of that post-production editing dance, the $17 lifetime deal is called a no-brainer. It's an affordable little safeguard that basically pays for itself the very first time you use it. Which really leaves us with one final thought. This isn't just about protecting data or even saving a few bucks. It's about your most valuable, non-renewable resource, your time. So the real question you gotta ask yourself is, how much of that time that's currently just lost to boring, tedious editing, how much of it could a tool like this give back to you?